5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Are we going live? We are live. It is Wall Street news, stock market news today on Wall Street Sizing Up, the channel that you have found. It is February 8th, 2021, year of our Lord. We have had a heck of a day. It's a Monday after the Super Bowl. Congratulations, Bucks and Buccaneer fans. It was wasn't the game that most people thought it would be. I didn't think it would be a shootout, but I certainly didn't think that the Bucks would pull out a can of whoop ass. So, but anyway, heck of a day in the markets. Let's get to it. We try to do it in under 10 minutes, and so here we go. My name is Mark, and so we are going to the markets now to see what they have done. You see them there on the screen. Dow is up 237. Good day. NASDAQ was up 131. S&P was up 28. Movers of the day were OCGN Ocugen, which surged about 200% after the company announced that it had entered into a definitive agreement for the sale of an aggregate of 3 million shares of its common stock at a purchase price of $7.65 per share. Also higher today was Coherent. COHR is a ticker, which rose about 15 after MKS Instruments offered to acquire the company for roughly $240 per share. All right, but we know the big news: Bitcoin and Tesla. We're going to talk about it. So all the Bitcoin stocks that are affected today, if you did not know, Tesla was one, CME, Goldman Sachs, MARA, AMD, NVDA, OSTK, IDEX, RIOT Blockchain, RIOT, TEUM, and SRAX were probably all of it. I didn't check every one of them, but I'm guessing, right? Among notable losers today was AMC, which declined about 10% after it was disclosed after Friday's close that the shareholder Wanda converted a Class B stock into Class A to permit sales. Also lower today was Ceragon Networks at CRNT, which fell 9% after reporting bad quarterly earnings. There's some other ones there, and you can see them there on the screen, or you can go to finviz.com. Here's what you want to know. Top 5 analyst upgrades today: TSCO, TSCO, EL, MGM, XOM, and Target, TGT. Top 5 analyst downgrades. This is downgrades now. LVS, I believe that's Las Vegas Sands. VIAC, Viacom, CSTM, OKE, and SYX. Top 5 analyst initiations, all right? We had Apple assumed an outperform at RBC, Affirm initiated with a buy at Truist, and a neutral at Goldman Sachs and Credit Suisse. We had Petco, Wolf, WOOF, initiated with a buy. Actually, it was mixed. A buy at Citi, outperform at Baird and Evercore, and overweight at Wells, and a neutral at B of A. Poshmark initiated with an outperform at William Blair, JPM, and Raymond James. And QUMU initiated with an outperform at Northland. All right, let's get into the big news. Again, this is the news you probably won't find on CNBC, but Tesla you're going to find here, right? Because and I'm going to go a little bit into Dogecoin too, because I think that is relevant as of today, especially if you're an investor and a trader of all assets. Tesla, in a 10-K SEC filing this morning, confirmed that it had purchased $1.5 billion. We know that. The company announced that it began accepting payment in Bitcoin as well. It purchased the Bitcoin back in 2021. We don't know the exact price, but it did say that it was 8% of the cash reserves of the company is what was used to buy. I didn't know that. I didn't know that Tesla had that much cash on the balance sheet. First of all, so 8%, the 1.5 billion represented 8% of the cash reserve they held. I do believe they are up about $150 million, especially with the all-time high today. It's probably more. They were up $150 million in profit on that buy alone already. Let's talk about Doge just real quick. So this is the Dogecoin. This is the true meme coin, right? The one that Elon, besides Bitcoin, he's kind of been pumping with Snoop Dogg and a little Gene Simmons, a little kiss action. They call it the meme coin. It's also known as a people's crypto. But here's the thing. I tell you that it's not people's crypto. We know it's a joke coin. I'm not talking about that. But I don't want people to get burned. I want them to understand. over half of all Doge coins are held by just 20 wallets. And I went to a website today, and there was an anonymous address that was created about 90 days ago, right? From all reports, 90 days ago. And one address owns 28% of all Doge coin, which I believe is valued at about $2 to $3 billion now, even with it being about 8 cents, Dogecoin being at 8 cents. It looked like to me about nine wallets own 47% of all Doge. So to say it's centralized is correct. It also has never-ending dilution. It penalizes token holders in the long term. Just so you know, Dogecoin has an available coin supply of about 128 billion Doge coins, and they continue to dilute token holders due to the ongoing mining reward. And if you do the math, it's a 4% inflation. So you're actually losing more money than you would if you hold in USDC. So, all right, Democrats. I know you know about the stimulus. I'm not really going to go into that. It was they're trying to pass it at. I still don't understand why it's at $1,400 per person. Now they've taken it down to about $55,000 per year. If you earn that, that's kind of the cutoff. Looks like to me. I think it might go back up. We'll see. Anyway, they did propose the Safe Tech Act today that brings change to Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. The proposal changes will force platforms to assume liability if they accept payment for content published. Right. So they're not saying that on Twitter and Facebook you can say what you want. Right, and the platform is not going to be punished unless they take payment, like in the form of, and I'll really get to this, but like paid ads, platforms like Substack, marketplace listings, that type of thing, right? So it will force some change. In some cases, too, the new bill will allow victims of online harassment and cyberstalking to file a lawsuit against the platform on which that took place. I wonder what Trump's going to do. Talk about harassment. Anyway, really harassment from all to all legislators in Congress on both sides, right? So I'm sure they'll be exempt. I'm sure personalities, celebrities will, there's not really they can do. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, we all love her, or do we? Claimed that the U.S. could return to full employment in 2022, only if the $1.9 trillion of COVID stimulus relief packages proposed by President Biden is approved. Do not believe that. Hyundai shares fell as its affiliate Kia Motors, their shares fell as well, as they disclosed that they are not in talks with Apple to develop its autonomous vehicle. Apple is reportedly in talks with about 6 automakers for vehicle production. I think what they meant by that is not in exclusive talks. I'm sure there has been some talks, but Apple's talking to various automakers. TikTok, let's talk about them. Very easy to get a good distribution on TikTok if you know what you're doing. You've got a good niche. So TikTok is now launching new features for its business customers, its social commerce efforts in the U.S. Several new features shown to advertisers include a tool for popular users to post links to products and earn commission, live stream shopping, and a product catalog for brands, just to let you know. Thought this was a very interesting note. And then we'll get directly into some stocks. Americans purchased more than 2 million firearms in January. That is... So last month, an 80% increase from a year ago. So year over year, it's an 80% increase, according to WAPO. It's third highest monthly total on record. The most firearms were purchased, or the third most firearms were purchased in January 2021. Here's the deal, though. First-time buyers accounted for 40%. Of those, 40% of the total purchases were also made by women, and that's according to the National Shooting Sports Foundation. All right, we've all heard of Citron. They go short. Not anymore. Citron tweeted bullishly about Conversion Labs at CVLB, $513 million market cap. It's a telehealth company. It's much like HIMS, is what I understand. In fact, they go into it here. CVLB, same as it's in the same biz as HIMS, would be at $140 at a HIMS multiple, HIMS multiple. And CVLB is growing at 160% versus HIMS only growing at 30%. So they say their presentation is compelling. You can find them on Twitter for the most part, and they are long CVLB. Telegram, TikTok, and Signal made up the top 3 most downloaded apps in January worldwide, according to Sensor Tower report. And this comes from the Bear Cave newsletter, which is typically talks about, short sellers and issues with companies that we should know about. It's really cool. It's called the Bear Cave newsletter. Google that. You get some really good information about twice a week. Carisdale Capital published a long thesis on Up Fintech Holdings, or the NASDAQ is TIGR, right? So they run, I believe, Tiger Trading in China, right? Their market cap's about $3.6 billion. They're literally called the company the Robin Hood of China. That's literally what they're called. Carisdale highlighted that the company, founded in 2015, currently has over 1 million users and caters to tech-savvy millennials with an easy sign-up process. And with them being in China, clearly their market is their total addressable market is far more than even Robinhood. And finally, former Citadel Securities Director, he explained what happened with Robinhood and GameStop last week. I thought this was interesting because he talks about the T2, and I'll just give you the real cliff notes here. As for what happens next, Shane Swanson, he told The Scoop, it is always hard to go backwards on cost, meaning that Robinhood is already free, right? So to go back up to charge, not going to happen. Referring to the ramifications of moving from a T2 to a more instant settlement process, because that was the issue with the T2. They had to basically, carry the buy side orders, however those were, 100% collateral on the buy side for a couple days, and that's what caused them to. They should have shut down trading, but what they did is they just let you sell it. And there's some legal maneuvering behind that, right? He said, it all depends. If the costs are egregious enough that the industry has absorbed commissions, it could come back. Movement from T+2 to a T+1 settlement would be over in a long enough time horizon. I believe that not being something that ends up impacting the retail investors in terms of cost. All right, so what he's saying is you move the T+1 over a long time horizon and then hopefully a T0, that it should not impact the retail investor per cost, right? And so there you have it. That is the stock market news today. Bitcoin again at an all-time high. Ethereum is at very close to an all-time high if it has not hit by now, but literally right as we speak is in fact, I can check it really quick. Bitcoin is right at the all-time high. In fact, it is at the all-time high, and Ethereum is just slightly off. So there you go. Congratulations, guys. As we say, Watcher 6, you go hard in the paint. Cheers. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks again. Wall Street sizing up. See you guys.